What's happening behind the scenes at Newcastle United is going to leave a lot of fans absolutely speechless. You know, that kind of movement that starts almost silently, away from the spotlight, without much fuss. But suddenly it starts gaining so much momentum that everyone begins to suspect something huge is coming. Well, that's exactly what's going on right now, mate. And when the atmosphere in the corridors of St. James Park feels like this, one thing's for sure, something massive and completely out of the ordinary is about to happen. And what's even more surprising is that this movement isn't happening on English soil, not even in the traditional European markets. We're talking about a bold, strategic and, at the same time, totally unexpected move that's taking place on the other side of the world. Yes, that's right. Who would have thought Newcastle would pull off such an unpredictable move, diving into a market that most Premier League clubs hardly ever explore? And that's exactly what's leaving everyone completely stunned. By the way, if you're one of those fans who love staying ahead of the game, always looking for inside info, transfer talks, and what's happening before it even hits the headlines, then do this now. Subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay one step ahead of everyone else. And of course, it massively helps our work to keep growing, bringing you red-hot updates straight from the top sources in Europe, England, and now even Asia. And let me tell you, this situation is so serious that we're not talking about silly rumors or baseless speculation. Far from it. The information coming out right now is from an extremely reliable source. And if you think this is just another random piece of transfer news, you better brace yourself. Because what I'm about to reveal could seriously impact not just Newcastle's future, but also send shockwaves across the Premier League, simply because the club is on the verge of doing something that hardly anyone thought possible in this transfer window. And now, dear fans, it's time to finally reveal exactly what's happening. According to the South Korean outlet KNT Football and backed up by highly respected journalist Seo Hojang, Newcastle United are closing in on the signing of one of Asia's brightest young talents, Park Sunsu. That's right, the 18-year-old South Korean forward, currently playing for Suwon Bluewings in K-League 2, is firmly on the Magpies' radar. And from what's being reported, a deal could be wrapped up at any moment. Park Sunsu is considered one of the biggest prospects in South Korean football. Standing at 1.80 meters tall, he's an incredibly versatile attacker, capable of playing both through the middle and out wide, offering any manager a range of tactical options. And here's the thing, he's already representing South Korea's U20 national team, with 1 goal and 5 appearances. This means we're not just talking about a local prospect. He's already beginning to make a name for himself on the international stage. And do you know what makes this even more fascinating? The possible signing of Park Sunsu doesn't seem to be a random move, because, as many of you already know, Newcastle are preparing for their pre-season tour, and guess where? Exactly, Asia. The Magpies will face Arsenal in Singapore on the 27th of July, then play against a K-League All-Star team at the Suwon World Cup Stadium in South Korea on the 30th of July, and finally finish their tour with a clash against Tottenham in Seoul on 3rd August. According to KNT Football, Newcastle's strategy is crystal clear. They want to seal the deal for this young talent before the tour even kicks off. Why? Simple. It creates a huge media buzz, strengthens their connection with Asian fans, and sends a powerful message to the world that Newcastle have no limits when it comes to finding the best talent, no matter where it is. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Newcastle have looked beyond the usual markets. If you think about it, Newcastle have already brought in Antonio Cordero from Spain, Yankuba Minna from Denmark, Garang Kuhl from Australia, and Miodrag Pivas from Serbia, and now their focus is firmly on South Korea. This shows, without a doubt, that Newcastle's football project is truly global, innovative and laser-focused on exploring markets that most clubs continue to overlook. And between us, if this works out, it could push Newcastle to an even higher level in world football. And by the way, if you're enjoying this update and want to keep up with everything happening behind the scenes at Newcastle, make the most of this moment. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and stay on top of all the news. This way you won't miss a single update, a single negotiation, and you'll always be the first to know what's happening with our beloved Newcastle. And there's more. According to KNT Football's reports, this deal is already at an advanced stage. The plan is for Park Sunsu to sign his contract very soon before the K-League season gets fully underway, and then join Newcastle later, once a few formalities are sorted out and possibly after the current Korean season finishes. This just shows how confident the club is in the player's potential. Another thing that really stands out is that Park isn't just a typical striker. He has the exact profile every modern club looks for. Quick, intelligent, excellent at reading the game, with superb movement in the box. And above all, he is tactically disciplined, something that impresses anyone who watches him closely. Not to mention his ability to operate in different attacking roles is something that Eddie Howe absolutely loves. Speaking of Eddie Howe, the Newcastle manager has been personally keeping a close eye on this entire strategy of signing young and exciting prospects. He knows that for any long-term project to succeed, it's not just about signing big-name stars, it's about developing talents who can grow within the club. And Park Sunsu fits perfectly into this recruitment model Newcastle have been following over recent transfer windows. In fact, this focus on youth is no coincidence. It's all part of a well-thought-out strategy to balance the squad between experienced players and young talents. This way, Newcastle are building not just for immediate success in the Premier League, but also for the long term, whether that's in the Champions League or any other major competition. And listen, if you're like me and love following every single bit of behind-the-scenes news about Newcastle, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and stay with us, because one thing's for sure, there will be loads more breaking news coming your way. We're working closely with top sources like Kyanti Football and the highly respected journalist Seo Hojung, who was the first to report this massive update straight from South Korea. And if you think the story ends here, think again. Newcastle remain very active in the market, and according to internal sources, the club are also monitoring other exciting talents including rising stars from Japan and even players currently shining in MLS. This just proves how serious the club is about building a global squad capable of competing with Europe's biggest giants. So, Blues, keep your eyes firmly on the channel because the coming weeks are going to be absolutely crazy. And of course, we'll be right here bringing you every update, every rumor, and every single bit of information that could shape the future of Newcastle United. And one more time, don't forget hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay with us. Because if there's one thing I can guarantee you, what's happening at St. James Park right now is just the beginning of a story that's going to make headlines for a very long time.